Hello students, let's work this problem together. The following box plot shows the percentage of students who have fundraised different amounts for the 2019 and 2020 school field trip. The following box plots compare the results. So here we have the 2019 box plot, and then we have the 2020 box plot. Which of the following statements is not true? Okay, so let's be careful because we're looking for something then that is not true. So we're looking for something that is false. Okay, so now we're going to see what we're going to be looking for in the box plots. So we're going to look at our choices, and the first statement says the interquartile range. So we're comparing the interquartile range of 2020 and 2019. So remember, the interquartile range is the spread of the middle 50%, which is only the box. So we're going to be looking for year 2019 from the beginning of the box to the end of the box. That is the spread or the interquartile range. Same thing for 2020, from the beginning of the box to the end of the box. That would be the spread or the interquartile range. So just by looking at them, I can see that the blue box, which is representing 2019, is spread out further apart. You see how it's longer? That means the data is spread out further, which means that it has a greater interquartile range than the green box, because the green box is shorter. So that would just be looking at it visually. Now we can actually find the interquartile range of each by taking the first quarter and the third quarter. So we will look at this number right here where the box started is 70, and where the box ended is 90. That's quartile 1 and quartile 3. Very important measures. I'm actually going to write it there. This is quartile 3, and this is quarter 1. Okay, so if we want to find a numerical value for the interquartile range, we're going to subtract those. So the third quarter was 90, and the first quarter was 70. So 90 minus 70 is 20. So the interquartile range is 20. So now we're going to do the same thing for the year 2020. So I'm going to take quarter 1, which is at 65, and I'm going to take quarter 3, which is at 80. And so I will find the interquartile range by subtracting 65 from 80. And we will get 15. So the spread of the data here is 15. Okay, so we have a numerical value to compare them now, and it matches what we originally had thought by just looking at it, right? That the blue one is spread out further. It's spread out. Its spread is 20. The interquartile range is 20. And then the green one is spread out less. Its interquartile range is 15. So I'm going to actually put that here so that we can have the data. I had 15 and 20. So let's look at the comparison. It says the interquartile range. So 15 is greater than 20. Is that true? No, that is not true. That is false. So we may have our answer, but we're going to check the other ones just to make sure we didn't make a mistake. I always want to check my answers. So I'm going to look at now the median for this box plots. Okay, and remember that the median is the number in the middle, and in a box plot is represented by a line right in the somewhere inside the box. So here is my median, and that number is 80 for 2019. So I'm going to go ahead and write that here. We have the median is 80. And then for the year 2020, we can look at where the line is inside the box. That is our median. And that one is 75. Okay, so, and you can see it also by looking at the picture. You can see that the median for the year 2020 is further to the left, so it is less than the one for 2019. So let's see, it says 80 is greater than what we got for 2020, which is 75. And 80 is greater than 75, so this is true. Okay, so now let's look at letter C. It says the greatest score was obtained in the year 2019. So the greatest score would represent the maximum. So the maximum point is right here. That is the max. And on 2020, this is the max. Okay, so the greatest score obtained is this number right here, is the highest. If I'm comparing both graphs, the highest maximum was in 2019. It was 100 because that's greater than the maximum of 2020, which was 90. So the greatest score was obtained in 2019? Yes, because that had 100, which was the greatest score that was obtained and recorded. So that is also true. And then the last one, we're going to be looking at the range for the year 2020. And it should be less than the range for the year 2019. So let's look at it. So the range would be the difference between the minimum and the maximum. So we already recorded the maximum for each box plot. So let's go ahead and look at the minimum for each one. So here I have the minimum for 2019, and here I have the minimum for 2020. So for 2019, the minimum is 55, and for 2020, the minimum is 50. Now remember, to find the range, we're going to subtract those. So for 2019, the range would be the maximum, which is 100, minus the minimum, which is 55, and that would give us 45. So the range from the minimum all the way to the maximum is 45. And now I can find the range for 2020, which would be the maximum of 90, and the minimum is 50. So 90 minus 50 is 40. So the range for the second box plot is 40. Okay, so we know that this one was 40 and 2019 was 45. So is 40 less than 45? Yes, it is. So this is also true. So remember, our question said which of the following statements is not true? And the only one that was not true is A. So A, the interquartile range of the year 2020 is greater than the interquartile range of the year 2019 is not true. So A is our answer.